Hey everybody, my name's Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I'm going to show you a fun card today, and what's a little bit different about it is it has some sneak peek and some retiring, some last chance. So I decided to combine the two because I have a busy week, and it was a great way to show off coming and going products, some of my favorites from both. So I have mailed out all of my annual catalogs if you were on my list. So I took them to the post office yesterday. I know some of you have already gotten them. Those of you in the retreat, I've gotten several happy emails from those of you that already have yours. So if you have your retreat packet, don't open it. Your introduction email is coming this afternoon or later, early this evening. But if you weren't on my list and you don't have a copy of this catalog, then the easiest way to get one is to go over to my website and just place an order, and the link will be down below the video. Or if you're in my email, then obviously the shopping link is there. There is a clearance sale today, but stuff was selling out really quickly. There wasn't a ton of clearance stuff because it was just a holiday catalog that they were clearing out. When we clear out these, there tends to be more. But then some of the things I'm going to show you on the card are also on clearance. So I'm happy to send you your first catalog free of charge. And then after that, you get them once I see your name on the order things, because it pops up. Then a couple of other just real quick things. I have the Hello Dear Friend class. It's a kit class. This is the card made straight from the kit. And then when you do the class with me, you get some alternates and you get the supplies to make your alternate projects. However, this is on low inventory. So it may, I don't know if that means they're going to get more of them in. Just right now it's showing on low inventory. It doesn't have any other information. So I am going to close this in a couple of days so I know how many kits I need to order. If you've already signed up, don't worry. I placed an order for those yesterday when I saw it go on low inventory. But if this was a class you were thinking about, my kit classes are a ton of fun, and they're great to take on the road with you because you get the kit from Stampin' Up, and then you also get the videos and the supplies to do some alternates. So if you're a paper pumpkin fan, you would like the kit classes. And then this is also the cactus kit class is also up for registration. So those are the actual two classes happening in April. And then my first May class, I have the pansy class, and registration for that will go up next week. I don't have that card laying here, but you can see the pansy card on my channel. So that will open up soon. But this one is my try it class. If you go to this video, you can find out about the try it stuff. Hey, Sib. I cleared off a space for her, a whole bunch of space on the other side of the table so she wouldn't be right in our way today. And for those of you that sweetly suggested that perhaps I get her own spot, she has a really regal bed underneath both of my desks. She has a large blanket on the floor, and she has a chair in front of my open window. But she just likes to be right where I am. And if I'm working on my computer, then that place often is on my keyboard. So it's just her personality. Her brother will come in and take advantage of all of the beds that they have in here, but she just wants to be, maybe she just wants to be a YouTube star, who knows. But back to this card. This is my try it class. In this class, you will get 12 projects, and each one will have new papers, new embellishments, new ribbons. Some will have a new die, some may have a new punch. So I opened it for registration last week, and it's over half full now. So it won't make it to the date that I have set up for the date. If you're on my team, you get this class for free. If you're on my team, you get all of the classes, all the time videos for free, but this one I do send them the supplies for. And then we do it together via Zoom. So the card I'm going to do today kind of goes along with the try it class, because you'll get this paper and we'll make something with it. And usually if you watch the video with the tree, then it gives full information on the try it class, because it's a very different class. I do them every time there's a new catalog. And they just get more and more popular, and my husband hates them more and more because the more popular they get, the more paper we have to cut, and it is a lot of work to cut paper for that, because I try to fit as much different paper on every card as I can so you can see a lot of it, and then because there's so many ribbons and so many embellishments, it just takes a long time. But for today's card, I am going to use the hand penned petals. So I'll show you the paper since she's now taken my free spot on the table. It's super pretty. Each side has florals, and the colors are just stunning. And then the other side are more traditional backgrounds. So it's a really, really pretty set. And because I wanted to show you some retiring stuff, I went with this piece. I tend to brown, oranges, greens, my favorite color. So I really like this piece of paper, but it also goes with the retired stuff that I want, or the stuff that is retiring that I want to show you. So that is the paper that comes in the hand pen suite. And then the dies, we're going to use all of the dies but these 3. So I just wanted to show you that you also get these 3. We won't be using them. We're using a ton of the dies, but just not those. And then the stamp set is a 2-step, so you can use it for a 2-step. It has some great sentiments. I had like the Feel Better Friend. I tried to make it fit on this card and it would not. You could always put it on the inside if you do this card. And in fact, the one I think that I chose for this card will no longer fit because I made the paper a little bigger. But it's got really pretty images that you can either color like we're going to do today, or you can 2-step. And you can, once you're out of the paper, you'll be able to recreate the paper because these are the images that are in the paper. So it does come with dies. So I have gone, like I said, with this piece of paper. My original thought was to do a frame and flip it, but I lost too much of the beautiful paper. So I changed what I was doing. And then I have a piece of the natural specialty paper that came out with the butterfly brilliance. So it's good through the end of this month or while supplies last, but there are still supplies. And it may go longer than that if they have it. I don't know. It was a while supplies last things, and supplies are still there. Then I'm going to use some of our pearlized paper, which if you saw the card I did yesterday, the tie-dye, I think I posted a couple of days ago, actually. And then I'm going to use the brass foil. This is retiring, and I love the brass foil. I like the super shiny. The gold is staying, but the brass just has that extra little bling to it, especially on the dies that we're going to use on today's card. So this is one of the things, and I'm 99% certain that this is on sale. One of the things that we're using is not. Oh, it's the gems. So I'm pretty sure that's on sale. So go get it before it's gone. And then when you're able to buy this suite, you'll be able to use it. So I'm going to stamp on shimmery white cardstock. I've considered next time, I don't know, y'all tell me if you would want to do a specialty paper class. Because, you know, I'm a huge fan of our specialty papers. And as you can see on this card, because I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And there's some fabulous new specialty papers in the catalog that are upcoming. I've ordered them. They weren't available for us to pre-order. Yeah, my cat wants me to play for him. My other cat just always wants me to play. So he's downstairs with his ball. Yeah, he's bringing it to me. Come here, Bubby. He's got better things to do than lay around and hope he gets on YouTube. Like kill all the balls in the house. So I'm going to stamp this one. I went with the big image because it kind of, well, for one, it gave me the most color. Come here. Give me your ball. Sorry. Cat duty. He'll just bring it back, though. He plays fetch. All the way through it kind of far. He might be mad at me. He doesn't like, you know, when you don't, he's a cat. Play on cat terms. So we've got this. And then I'm going to go ahead and do all of the cutting out with my cut and emboss machine, which I am doing a giveaway for one of these. It ends in May, so you can go to my website, or if you're on my email, I occasionally put the information in there. So first I'm going to use this scallop. It doesn't really matter what order you do these in, but this is going to take the whole thing. So I'm going to lay this here. I'm going to lose brown. The cinnamon cider is my favorite part of this paper. And on my other card, the flowers are not placed exactly where I kind of wanted them, but they're placed where you can see the most cinnamon cider. Okay, so just roll this through. So that's our first one. You make sure you don't go speed bump on that one because it'll make a giant kerplunk. Look how fun this side of the paper is. It's mint, so it kind of doesn't go with my color scheme on this one, but it gives that fun stitched scalloped edge. So I've done that one. This time we can get a couple more on here. We can get this one, and this just cuts it out. And then let's do, I can't see because although I think he's gone. You know, nothing like trying to appease your cats while you're filming. And then we've got this little fun little outline that kind of coordinates with this one. And I'm doing it on the pearl paper. It's going to be in the upcoming catalog. It's in the holiday, I mean, not the holiday, the January to June catalog now. It's part of the Sand and Sea Sweet, because when you do the shells on it, it looks like a great opal pattern or texture, I guess. So I've got these. And then let's take this piece of brass cardstock, and hopefully none of these fell off. These are a ton of the little dies that come in. And if I had not just done the card that I just did where I colored all of the little images, this would be another one. You could do that exact same card that I did for the Quiet Meadow. You could, if you get this set, you can do the same technique with it because it has all the pieces that you need. You can't tie a bouquet, obviously, like I did in the other one. But you'd be able to do a really fun floral placement with this. And maybe sometime I will do that. Too many options, too little time. So, and also starting with this new catalog, I'm starting something new. So you may see a fewer videos on my public channel because I'm going to do a VIP video club. Look how pretty these are. And see the brass, when you have something small like that, that brass just gives it a little extra zing. They'd be pretty in the foil, but this is just a little bit more. And I like a little bit more. But in the VIP video club, everybody who spends $50 on my website each month, the following month when you get your thank you gift from me, you will also get supplies to have a private video link. So you'll have a little card supplies, and I'll try to do them generic enough that you can use whatever stamps you might have. And I'm going to do a couple of videos just for those of you that purchase from me, because I have a lot of team perks for the girls on my team, but I wanted to find a way to do something fun with those of you that so loyally purchase from me every month, because I do appreciate it. So that's with a $50 purchase every month, and it starts this month. So if you buy anything that's on the last chance list, you'll get a card next month. We'll see if she doesn't knock those over. So I'm going to color this in, and I'm going to use, okay, I put my shimmer paint up. I almost got it back out because, you know, I'm doing a card that has last chance things on it. So you could do this with the shimmer paint. I have a ton of videos on my channel that will show you how to do that. But I'm going to use Cinnamon Cider, Pool Party, and Just Jade, and my Wink of Stella. So if you have shimmer paint, you can do the same thing. Just use an empty Wink of Stella or a paintbrush. Trying to decide what color I want to start with at the same time that I'm talking to you. So take this and squish. We're just going to watercolor with this because it's going to give it a little bit more shimmer. I made a wedding card. My daughter and her boyfriend have, I don't know, they don't have a free weekend all summer except for the 4th of July weekend, which is not really free, plus it's her birthday. But they have a ton of weddings because they're in that season. And so I keep thinking wedding cards. Like some weeks they just have a wedding every weekend. And I think it's partly because so many weddings got moved from last summer to this. But the year that my husband and I got married, we were in or part of or went to 11. And one was ours, and one was one of my best friends, and one was my sister. So, you know, it just kind of happens when you get to be that age that happens. So I'm just brushing some Pool Party in with this. And this is really pretty on its own. So when you're finished with this, you're almost tempted to not kind of cover it up. But I'd already cut out the lovely die, which is very pretty. So I went ahead and covered it up. So that's Pool Party. I am going to color the rest of these, and then I will come back after I've painted it. Okay, so those are all painted in, and you can always watch the sped up version that includes the painting over on my Instagram a couple of days after I post a video. So if you want to see me paint it, it literally only took a couple minutes. So now we just have to put this together. So take the Pool Party, fold it in half. And then I have this. If you want to be a paper saver, which a lot of times I am, I just have these little scraps left from the classes that I've done recently, and they happen to be the perfect size. But you could easily cut this down so you're not covering up, or you could do a punch or something under here since that's going to get covered. So go ahead and mount this on. And it doesn't matter where, it's just cut card front size. And then on my other one, I put congratulations right here, but on this one, I wanted a tiny bit more of the paper. So if you want to say, put it on the inside. I just didn't want to waste the beautiful paper. And I did shove it to the side a little bit because I thought you could see a little bit more of this, just a design technique. Originally I had it laying in the middle, but 2 little strips were harder to see than 1 big. And then here is this colored in. So with the shimmer paint from the Wink of Stella and then the shimmery white cardstock it's on, it's super pretty, just like this. So when you go to stick this on, now I can place this one a little bit better because on my other card, most of my brown is just right here. You know, sometimes when you cut designer series paper, you work with what you end up with from that square, but this one has some cinnamon cider all around it. So I'm gonna put this one a little bit more center than my other one is, plus I won't have the words. So we're gonna stick some stuff underneath it. So for this one, just put your adhesive right here in the middle. That's plenty to hold it. And let's go over on this one this time, which I wasn't able to at all. Otherwise I would have lost almost all of my cinnamon cider. And then we have this fun overlay piece. She's sitting on one that has the brush in it. But I'm not gonna move her because I don't think she's in camera view today. So look how fun this is. Isn't that pretty? You do want to make sure on this one that you poke those little bits out. That's the only one that didn't fall. If you were just using this and you were painting it and some of them stayed, it wouldn't matter. But because we're going to place it over the top of this, we want as much to show through as we can. So I'm going to use glue dots pretty much from here on out to stick everything on here. So this is first. There are 2 flowers. This one right here, that you can stick those on because they're big enough. And then this one right here. Because I want it to have some lift. I don't want this to be flat over the top of my other thing. So if you use adhesive or if you use the adhesive sheets, which would be fabulous on it, it would be flat and I want it to have some give. So you can see how they line up-ish over these. The stamps design itself is bigger. Remember where I put the... There we go. And see, now it has that lift, so you can see underneath all of it. Now here's some of the retiring ribbon, and this ended up being my favorite ribbon this year, which tulle had been my favorite ribbon for a long time. But this is so much fun, so we're going to use it one more time. It is on sale. Like, we still have it. So for this one, and I've used it on so many cards, you can go to my website and just look through the front pages of cards and see all the ones I've used it on. I'm going to take this and I'm going to tie a knot. If you don't like bows, this ribbon is right up your alley because there's so much that you can do with it and you don't have to be able to tie. So I have this knot here in the middle. Then I'm going to take one string that goes horizontal and pull it. And it does this nice little ruching. And I'm going to be able to ruche it a little bit more when I get it on the card, but because I've got a short piece, it will just keep coming undone until I've got it stuck. But once it's stuck on the card, oh, come on. So just pull that. So you can see how they've both done that. When you take those little scraps off, it'll look prettier. Now I'm going to lift this up. This way I only put my adhesive in the middle. So lift it up right here, stick a glue dot. And then I'm going to kind of stick this just underneath that. And now you can see here, I'm going to use this, I forgot to use this here. So it's going to stick here and here. And now you've got this started, so just pull it. So you can see how it pulls. And as you pull it, you can put it into your adhesive. So it has this fun little ruched look that it gives you, and it will look 100 times better once you pull your strings off. So pull this one, and it's the only ribbon that we have right now that does it. Of course, I haven't played with the new ones, but from first glance in the catalog, it doesn't look like any of the others are going to do this. So it just kind of gives it a fun little, I guess I'll leave that for a second. And then this comes with it. It's the Forever Greenery combo pack, so you get both of these, and I like this one just as much. So I'm going to take it and again, don't have to tie. Just wrap some around your fingers. I'm being exceedingly generous with it because, you know, after I think we'll use it at camp on Friday. And then after that, people tell me, I know I can use things that are retired, but I don't like to put them on here because then if people aren't able to get them, I don't want you to be disappointed. So once something's retired, I don't tend to use it much anymore. So stick this on here. Let those fall under there. I can tell some of them went over here. They didn't all grab in my little glue dot. But that's the wonder of glue dots. It's a little bit like hot glue, but it's not. So you're going to see we're able to place everything we want on this card wherever we want it. So let's trim these now because we've got these hanging off. These are a little long. My other one had some that came out over the top. So now you take these and you can use your scissors or just kind of scrape them apart. And they're nice and wispy. Again, we don't have any other, we do have new cord in the upcoming catalog, but it's more traditional cord. It's the gold and silver. So this is new, but it's not going to do this. This is the much wispier cord. Okay, now I'm just going to start with my biggest of the brass. Remember, retiring. And you're just going to glue dot these wherever you want, which is going to be completely different than my other one because of the way my card is now. And this is why I've just got adhesive stuck in the middle, because if you just stick it in the middle, it's a lot easier to work with to lift these up. And then at the end, if anything is sticking up too high, you just use a glue dot and stick it back down where you want it. So now let's get these fun little brass flowers. And we're just kind of building the bouquet a little bit further out than what the original one is. There's a Queen Anne's lace in this set that I would have liked to have used too, but even for a more is more person, sometimes you're like, that's enough, stop. So you're going to see this pretty much fills up the card. And I didn't want to lose my pretty papers. Let's go there. And see, this brass is just that fun pop of color. And again, the gold will work, but this, it's prettier. I was very sad that it was leaving. We have one leaf left. So it's kind of tiny. So when you have the tiny ones, before you kind of press it on there, just squish it. So now it's just on the, it's actually just on that part. And then one final flower. And then these are retiring, and they're beautiful, and they work well with this paper. Look at the gold and then the colors of green that show through. It's perfect for this paper, but retiring. So if you're going to order this paper when the catalog goes live, you might want to make sure that you have a packet of these that you'll be able to use with it. So I'm going to stick it on here. There's that hole. So you have to kind of press hard to get it in there. And if it's still kind of bouncing out, then I will add a glue dot underneath that, because you know glue dots are like our hot glue. Well, that one apparently doesn't want to go there. So let's put it here. And then let's do a tiny one. So now you can see this is kind of dwindling, this is kind of dwindling. I want it to have some movement, but I don't want that to fall off, because if they pull it out of an envelope and that's kind of raised up, it might fall up. So just lift this up, stick a glue dot there, and then press that. And look, now all of that's a little bit more anchored. So even though we only have a glue dot there and there holding this pearl piece on, now it's all anchored. And then this right here, that's not bothering me terribly because it's got lift over here, but I don't want that stuff to fall out. So just take a glue dot. I should do glue dots as a thank you gift. I like to do flat things so they go in the cards. So isn't that simple and beautiful? There's so much sparkle to it. So hopefully you can see it. All this sparkle shows through that pretty pearl paper, but the pearl paper sparkly. You have these really pretty gems. And here's my other one that I did fit the congratulations on because I lost a little bit of the paper. This time I decided to go with more paper and less. And you can see all of the cinnamon cider flowers went like this. So if I'd put this where I did here, I would have lost all the cinnamon cider and people would be like, brown flowers. So it looks like still my magnolia tree. Now it's starting to at least get the leaves, but it bloomed and then we had a hard frost and they look like this, the whole entire tree of dead magnolias flowers, but the tree itself survived. So that's what I have for you today. If you're interested in any of my classes or the sale, just hop over to my website. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I'm always happy if you don't want to place your order online, you can email it to me or text me, or you can even call me. You're allowed to call me. Although a lot of times my phone's being used to film, so you might have to leave a message and I can call you back. So everybody have a great day, and I will catch you back here later. Bye.